the bracket. Thank you, Chair.
Mheshimiwa Kaluma, then Mheshimiwa Kirwa, then Mheshimiwa Paul.
Chair, let me join the members in commending Honorable Nyoro for coming forth to participate in this process at this stage. I know as a member of parliament he'll have another stage, but this is bold. It's also a Kenyan. And so let me thank him for requesting our clerk to permit his presence to make these presentations at this stage. I know we may also visit other counties during public participation, take interest and join them. And Chair, let me thank you also for following Honorable Ndindi's request, allowing him to appear before us. Listening to Honorable Ndindi, Chair, I'm asking why he didn't request to join us as a stakeholder, so that a number of these questions he's raising would help us as representatives of the people to raise them with these various bodies coming here. In fact, makes me think, Honorable Chair, that because I know we could be having Central Bank of Kenya today, later on, Honorable Ndindi should stay around. Because ultimately, if he stays around in that capacity, he can join us as representatives of the people in interrogating these matters. Why do I say so, Chair? Chair, when Honorable Ndindi indicated he's coming and you told us so in the morning, you remember we had joined briefly. And we were very elated. We thought there is a smoking gun. And he has come and he has started as if there is a smoking gun. But I'm still waiting for the gun to discharge. The gun is not discharging. Makes me think there is something Honorable Ndindi is withholding. Honorable Ndindi, don't fear. You're in Parliament. Tell us, release the smoking gun. You see, Honorable Chair, Honorable Ndindi started by saying there is an issue with valuation. And he said, I know, to use my own word, some conspiracies, and I'm going to give details of people. Do we go in camera, you give us these details? Because Honorable Ndindi, you know the attitude of some of us with anything that is corrupt or collusion. In fact, I was waiting, Chair, you saw me take my pen, and I've been waiting. I just wanted to hear so and so, so and so, so and so, so and so is involved, and is depriving Kenyans of their rightful asset. You know, the Ndindi has come, gone round. I want to request Honorable Ndindi that on that second limb, and I can tell you, you know Peter Kaluma as you do other members of this committee, if you were to point to us that there is some conspiracy, some corrupt practice around this matter, Honorable Ndindi, I can tell you, we would adjourn all the other hearings and this committee will make a decision on my intervention. And you know me. So I would still request and ask very humbly, my brother, having come forth, the generalities you have spoken here, you could speak on the floor. Give us the details of these people you indicate you will give. The better if the media is there. But if you need in camera, please stay on. But I retain my ask to the chair to allow you to sit through. You are entitled with the permission of the committee, as a friend of the committee. Chair, valuation has been a matter disturbing us a lot. And I agree with Honorable Ndindi, we are not sitting here just as Parliament. We are sitting here representing Kenyans in the sale of their assets, which if we were not sitting as representatives here, Kenyans would have been met elsewhere, and they would have raised issues. And by the way, we've been raising these issues. When we raised the issue of valuation, they told us there is something called market price. And we were told if you go to the stock market now and Safaricom shares are listed there, you will get between 28, 29. We were told there is something called PE ratio, which I see you repeating here. And you are taken through these calculations. The price earning ratio. I'm not an economist, I'm a lawyer. But we were taken through the details. We were told about intrinsic value. And if you've been following proceedings, I've been speaking to what Safaricom is in our telecom space, in our mobile money transfer space, and in our image and heritage as a country wherever you go across the world. I thought when you mentioned you are coming to guide us on valuation, you know, you would leave us here with a model of computation complete with how we arrive at a figure which we can tell Kenyans as representatives, this is the fair value. You know, Chair, we are at a position no better than where we were before Honorable Ndindi Nyoro came. And these are questions we've been asking. So Honorable Ndindi, could you, beyond what you've said, using all these methods, by way of arithmetics, you know, demonstrate to us how we can come to a better share value so that we determine this issue and we make a determination together with you, which we will present to you to approve or not. Beyond the fact that you are saying, if we went for competition, we would yield better. We've raised the issue of competition that Kenyans have been seeing. Now, beyond the issue of competition, please let us know your justification for saying that Kenya going beyond the price in the market of 28, 29 to 34 still is an undervaluation. And if so, still in your view, give us what would be the right valuation with a clear pathway to it so that we can pursue it. Number 3, Chair, I'm a lawyer, I'm not a finance guy. Honorable Ndindi is speaking to the matter of valuation of a company. What we are dealing with here is valuation of shares, not a company. I know the value of the company may be one consideration you take to your intrinsic value, which I've requested you to compute. But I think we need to understand that the only benefit you get from shares are dividends as and when they're declared. Share in company law, companies are what we call persona jurídica, juridical persons. You don't own the assets of the company. You don't own the company. You own shares and you trade in those shares and you derive benefits by way of dividends. Full stop. So let us be clear that we are not valuing, you know, Safaricom. We are valuing shares in Safaricom. And so it is away from the company and, Honorable Chair, the assets. But Ndindi, I need you to share with us on something. You know, when we enacted the Companies Act in the 11th Parliament, you were not yet with us. I was at the center of it. We had a section 975, subsection 2B, in which we said any foreign company in Kenya to be registered here had to let go at least 30% shareholding. Was it to the government or to the local people? There had to be that percentage. Out of the idea that we needed to attract foreign investment in 2016, you remember, an amendment was brought, and when that amendment was brought, we deleted that provision. Now leaving these shares open to everybody. If I were to eat your mind, thinking about the place of Safaricom, do you think we should recommend a reinstatement of that provision? So that when we have strategic companies or corporations like Safaricom, there is the limit is set, even if we are not to say local, we say the government shall have, on behalf of the people, at least this percentage, whether that, because I tend to think, Honorable Chair, that this could be what could have informed our having 35 then. It could not go below 30. What is your thinking around that? But tied to that, what stops Vodacom from going to the market now that these shares are listed and incrementally, buying the shares to the level, that they want, so that we are justified in saying this is not the way to go. The shares are listed, and by the way, they will be buying not at 34, but at 28, 29. What stops them now from going there? And if they were to go, do you measure the loss to the country in terms of what we seek to do? On the transaction cost, as advocates, we have the advocates' remuneration order. And Honorable Ndindi, it will tell you, on this kind of transaction, you will charge this least amount. Of course, we don't have upper limits. So the fees a lawyer charges are guided. People keep speaking about 0.5 to 1.5. We were told even by the CS Treasury and other people. I'm not a finance guy. Is there an instrument under which this is prescribed so that we can look at it? But I agree with your presentation that, by the way, the higher the volume, the lower the commission. Stockbrokers we will investigate, later on. I end by commending you and requesting that either way, let the smoking gun be seen and let the bullet be shot. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Kirwa. Then Paul, members, let's avoid, if a colleague has asked a question, let's not repeat the question, please, for the sake of time. We have other stakeholders waiting. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, for the opportunity to ask this question. And thank you, Nyoro, for coming up as a Kenyan to just give